Hi guys, it's me Gab from Probaholic, and today I will be reviewing The Orphan Queen by Jodi Meadows, which is the first book in the Orphan Queen series. For now, there are only two books in this series that are out, this one and The Mirror King by Jodi Meadows. So I don't know how many books there will be, maybe it's a trilogy or like, I don't know, 6 books, 4 books. So today's video, I will be telling you non-spoilery things about the Orphan Queen. I'll tell you a little bit of the background story and like my opinion on the book without telling you something that you don't want to know if you haven't read it. So before I start with the summary, if you have never heard of this book, it's young adult, which means that it's for the audience of something like 14 to 20, but anyone can read young adult, and it's fantasy, which means that there are magical elements, and yeah, but that's basically it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I definitely think that the background story and like the world building is great. I just thought that there were some flaws, and it's mainly like there was so much potential in this book, and it didn't quite like meet my expectations, so that's why I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Now, the review of this book, I don't really want to spoil a lot of things or like tell you something that you read in the, I don't know, 100 page, because that is no fun. But basically, we have this this like continent, and for the last 100 years, there is this like fog. Imagine like fog, and when the fog comes to your town, basically everyone dies. Because you either get like stuck, like in a liquid that you can't move and you die because you starve, or the fog comes with a lot of monsters and like strange beasts that kill off the other people. So when this fog comes to your town, you run away as fast as you can in order not to get killed. And many kingdoms have been conquered by this fog, and there are, I think, 3 or 4 left. And this book follows our main protagonist. Her name is Wilhelmina, and she lives in one of those, you know, still standing kingdoms. Actually, it's one of the most important ones. And she has a group of friends. They are all thieves, and basically they live on stealing stuff. Most of them are below the age of 18, so it's kind of this gang of children that survive on stealing things, and it's really interesting, like their relationship, because all of them are orphans. They don't have parents, so it's really interesting to see how they're like as a family, how some of them act as parents and other have different roles. As I said, Wilhelmina, she's our main protagonist. I think she's like 18 years old. And if you have read like the summary, you know some things about her. But I will not dive into that too much. I'll just say that in her past, she comes from another kingdom, and her kingdom has been taken over by this main kingdom where she lives right now. And she and like her friends, they don't agree with the way this main kingdom is handling stuff, so they want to their people back in the kingdom they come from to have more freedom. So that is something that they're fighting for. They're like activists. And Wilhelmina and her best friend Melanie, they have some missions that they believe will lead to their people having more freedom and like giving their people a better life. Another like last note is that this book, not only is the fog magical, but also some of the people in these kingdoms have magic. But magic is kind of forbidden because people believe that magic is what creates this fog. Like if you use magic for something, that is like the fog will become stronger. So people who use magic, they are thrown into jail, or like they disappear. Something happens to them because the main kingdom is looking for them. Of course, some of our characters will have magic and will face this problem. I believe that this book is very diverse in characters and ages, because we have, as I said, small children that are like 12, 11. We have Wilhelmina, who is like 18. We have some older, not older, but like more mature people who are like 20, 24. And then we have like kings and lords. So we have this big variety of ages, which I think brings a lot to the story, because it's not only like children running around. So I get this book 4 out of 5 stars. As I said, I do believe that the characters were pretty great, but I do believe that I would have liked to see more character development in Wilhelmina, because she does some decisions that are pretty rash. Like, she says, I'll do them because I want more freedoms for my people and like for the country I come from, but that is not really valid reason for all of the things she does. So I would like to see more of her like developing and coming to the like conclusions of making those decisions. There are some plot twists in this book. They're not like mind blowing and you're like, what? But they're still pretty cool, and like you have some thoughts on the things that will happen, but still you can't be sure. And I think that that is something that I really enjoyed in this book. Altogether, I would say that this book is above average, because like this story of all the kingdoms and like this fog and the magic and everything is really, really great. The fact that I had problems with some like Wilhelmina or some of the other side characters, I believe that they could have been like amazing, because the background story we get is just so great that I just wanted there to be more. But I believe that this is not such a big problem, because when we have a second book or many other books, it is possible for the characters to become more in depth and for them to have more character development. On the other hand, if we have no background and no like really bad world building, even if the characters are great, the book can't really improve that much. So I believe that this book has a lot of possibility to improve, and I'm hoping to see that in the next book. In conclusion, this is a book about magic. We have a female protagonist who is very kick-ass. She's a thief and she was raised on the streets. But she's also this really kind and thoughtful person. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed reading The Orphan Queen, which is an amazing young adult fantasy where no one is who you thought they were.